Hi, this is LaWanna, and I am the host of the BAG group. And I'm so excited because although we don't have a guest today, we are going to be making some changes with the program. So we won't just be interviewing authors who have written self help books, but I'm reaching out to authors who have written other types of books, in particular, romance books. You know me, I love my romance. So I want to find out what makes those authors tick, how they come up with those fascinating stories that I so love to read. Well, just so you know, it has been exciting doing this program. I have loved every minute of it. And what's thrilling now is because I've been given the opportunity to take this to Amazon Fire and Roku. That makes me very excited. Also, the podcast portion of it will appear on iHeartRadio, um, Spotify, and I can't remember the other names that I was given. But this is exciting news. It means we're moving up and people are starting to notice us. I am so thrilled about that. I hope you are too. This has been great. You know, we started this in March. In fact, right when they told us that everything was going to be shut down because of COVID. And I was really thrilled that I was going to be the host of doing the monthly program that was a live event. And I had this idea that we would move it to interviewing people, and I would do it weekly and then post it so that you'd have an opportunity to meet some of these fascinating authors. Well, it has been great doing that. I have met some great authors, and there's so many more out there that I would just love to talk to. But I do want to expand on it. So I'm thrilled to death that I have a chance to do that. And we're going to take advantage of that. Yes, you know, my book, Courage to Live Your Dream, or rather in this case, my dream. But I do hope you're thinking about your dream and you're out there working on it. I wrote this book because I was feeling a little bit down and had no idea what I wanted to do. And sometimes when we're feeling that way, it can be very depressing. I made the decision I didn't want to live that way, being depressed. So I wrote down what I was feeling and how I was going to come out of it. Thankfully, it worked. I hope you go out and buy a copy of this book because it's still available at Amazon.com. Take a look at the steps that I use. Might work for you. And how about you writing down some of the things that you're feeling and think about what you could do to get out of that situation? Now, if you do that and you turn that into a book and get it published, you are going to get some wonderful speaking opportunities. You get to come on programs like this one that I'm doing, and there are hundreds of thousands of podcasters who are out there looking for guests. And this is your opportunity to go on there and share your story. Because as I always say, we all have a story, and there is somebody out there waiting to hear our story because it's going to make a difference in their life. Now, if you're not doing that, if you're not sharing your story, somebody is missing out. Somebody's not going to see that change. They're not going to have these wonderful things take place in their life because you failed to write your story or share it. Even if you don't write it, you got to get out there and share it. Now, don't share the negatives. Tell us about the exciting things that happen once you made your decision on what you wanted to do. Okay, about to get on my soap opera, so I better cool it just a little bit. Hey, listen, I know you're probably wondering about the fire back there. Well, the last couple of mornings I have awakened, and it's actually been a little chilly in my house. So I pulled out my electric heater that looks like a little one of those old-fashioned stoves that you used to put wood in and burn it. I love that kind of a scene. So I have it going in the background. Just wait. The holidays are coming. Halloween is next weekend, and while I don't know if I'll dress up or do anything fancy for Halloween, maybe I'll put a couple of things out here just because it's Halloween. My thing about Halloween is it's for children, and I don't know. I wasn't really thrilled about Halloween when I was a kid, even. Although I did like going trick or treating. In my day, you could go trick or treating. We didn't just take a bag, those little plastic bags that they give you in the store. Oh no, we took pillowcases when we went and did our trick or treating because people were very generous, and you never failed to come back with loads of candy and fruit and cookies. And oh my gosh, it was just great to go trick or treating when I was a kid. And there was even a graveyard that we passed sometime when we wanted to go to the other houses on the other side. Oh my God, scary stuff because our little imaginations would go wild, and we would think about who was out there and whether or not someone would arise from their grave and chase after us. Yes, we actually thought things like that. But we had so much fun. And it wasn't just the people in their homes who opened their doors and put candy and all kinds of goodies into our pillowcases. We went to the supermarkets and the drugstores and as I used to call them back in my day, the five and dime store. And they all just were so generous with children back then. We could get so many wonderful things. Sometimes we even got little toys. And wow, that may not seem like a big deal to you now, especially since they weren't fancy toys. Usually it was just something that was plastic and could easily break if you didn't take care of it properly. But that wasn't the point. The point was that we got these things. We were able to uh, go home and pour out the things that we hid over the floor, the table, and sort through them and just, oh my gosh. Well, that probably explains why I had bad teeth. Because I love eating that candy, all the goodies that we received. And parents weren't afraid to let you eat the fruit or the candy that was given to you because it was safe. People didn't think about harming children. Most people did not think about harming children, which was wonderful. I'm kind of sad that we don't have that innocent time anymore because you young people have truly missed out on some wonderful things that you could have done. But you can listen to old fogies like me share their memories and kind of enjoy that. Anyway, so that's Halloween. Now, we also have Thanksgiving coming up. And Thanksgiving, believe it or not, is one of my favorite holidays. And I don't know why. It's the one time of the year that I actually enjoy cooking. And I like to prepare all of the things. I will cook a cake and I'll have, oh my gosh, cornbread and turkey and stuffing or dressing in my case, because I don't really stuff the turkey. Um, but I do all of that, the biscuits, and even though I have cornbread, I'll have biscuits as well. And sometimes I'll have greens to go with it, and macaroni and cheese, and corn, and green beans. And oh my God, I just cook all this food. I always overcook. I don't know why, but I do. Especially now, since everybody's gone. And this will actually be the first Thanksgiving in which I will be hmm, cooking for myself. But I'll overcook because somebody will show up. My children will pop in. They will have already eaten, but they'll pop in and they'll stick their hands or whatever into something go just because they're still kids, even though they're as old as they are. And it just brings back those memories of when I used to get up in the morning on Thanksgiving Day. Thanksgiving Day, Christmas, and Easter. I would get up early and I would cook breakfast for everybody: pancakes, bacon, eggs, hot chocolate for the children, coffee for me and my husband. And we just had such a wonderful time that I don't know. It's it's kind of nice to have those memories. Mm. And I always started cooking in the wee hours of the morning when it came to my turkey and things like that. I'd get up around 3 in the morning and start putting the turkey on so that the turkey could be just about done by the time everybody was up. And then I could cook the rest of the things. Of course, I had to try to keep people from sticking their hand or a knife or something to cut a little piece of turkey off. That was always a challenge, but fun anyway. And so I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving this year. I really am, because it's going to be totally different. My husband is no longer with us, so he will not be there. All of my children are grown. They even have grown children of their own. And I have great grandchildren, 7 of them to be exact. We thought there was going to be an 8th one, but unfortunately, there was a miscarriage. So we have to accept God's will and just move on and know that there will be another one. So I'm not worried. I know there will be another one. It'll be a blessing. It's always a blessing when children are born. I think that's the greatest gift God can give to you, is to trust you with a child. Mm. And then there's Christmas. I love Christmas because I love to decorate. And you are going to see all kinds of Christmas decorations around here. I'm excited. And trying to decide if I want to start a little early this year. Usually I wait till the night of November the 30th and I start putting my Christmas decorations and things up so that December the 1st starts with everything in place. And I leave them up all month long, usually past January 2nd, because January 2nd was my firstborn's birthday. And I kind of leave it up past his birthday to celebrate that. He's no longer with us as well. I lost him many years ago in a car accident uh, when he was on his way to visit his fiance. So, you know, I apologize. I shouldn't be talking about this because it always makes me nostalgia, and tears start welling up in my eyes. So I hope it's not running like crazy and whatnot. But I've been blessed. I was blessed. I had 4 wonderful children, and they have provided me with, oh wow, 15 wonderful grandchildren and now 7 great grandchildren. So it's great to be me. And I think about it, I have the opportunity to live at least 22 more lives through my children, my grandchildren, great grandchildren. So I will be around for a very long time. I keep telling people that, but it's true. Mm, I'm so sorry. Anyway, I'm supposed to be talking about this show. We are going to be interviewing more authors. These will be people that you probably don't know unless you're like me and you read a lot of romance stories. And I know it's you probably think it's not fair that I chose romance authors, but that's where my interest lies. Okay. And I will still interview authors who write self help books, local authors, even some authors across the state, even some overseas. I have some friends in Canada and Australia, in the UK who have written books, and I'll reach out to them as well and interview them also. You've already met one of my friends. Her name is Angelique Pellerini, and she was one of the ladies that I interviewed. She lives in Australia, and very nice lady. If you get a chance, you really should connect with her because she offers us kind of a healing. Now, I don't want to try to explain it because I'll mess it up and give you the wrong impression. And then if I give it to you wrong, you decide you don't want anything to do with it because that's not what you're looking for. And what she does might be what you are looking for. So go check her out for yourself, Angelique Pellerina, and find out exactly what she does, okay? Wow, I've only known her for about, wow, let's see now, about 6, 8 months. Mm, yeah, because I met her during this COVID thing. I've met quite a few people since COVID. But again, I will be reaching out to local authors and others who are interested in being a part of the program. But I am definitely expanding it where I will be talking to authors who write romance. And I may reach some others. I mean, there are mysteries and horror stories and whatnot that people write, and some of those authors are just as good as the romance ones. And hey, I will interview them as well. But now I have some more good news I want to share with you because before I started doing this, in fact, I took a little hiatus. I had a show called Courage to Live Your Dream, and I have been approached about starting that show again. So I will be doing that as well as this, which means there'll be two programs that you have an opportunity to take advantage of. Now, that one we will be talking to people who have started their own business or maybe climbed the ladder in some way, and they'll be sharing with you some of the struggles they went through to get started in their business or to climb up the corporate ladder so that they give you some advice and tips on things that you could do so you can move on as well. The great thing about it is I will not just be speaking to them, I will be speaking to anyone who is out there struggling because we have other struggles that we go through. And I know that there are a lot of people who are trying to get businesses going. And yes, they need to hear uh, from people who have muddled through and made it to the other side. They need to know what they did, how they did it. What can you or I do as individuals to make those same type of achievements? But there are other types of struggles out there as well. Sometimes people just need to air some of the things that they're going through. Um, just, maybe you're trying to figure out what's your next step in your life, or perhaps you're having some struggle with your teenagers and you want to figure out how can I talk to this kid to let them know that I love him, I only want the best for him, and get him to sit down to listen and hear. So there will be many topics that will come up. I hope you will tune in to that program as well because it's going to be very good. Uh, and if you have something that perhaps you want to share, something that you went through, that you could tell us how you handled it, and maybe make some suggestions for the next person who's going through something similar. We learn from one another, and through this program, we want to be able to help everyone. And so that's the two things that are going to be coming up. And honestly, I'm really excited about it because I have really enjoyed this. Getting with you each week, talking to authors, having them share how they got started, what made them decide they want to write their book. And some of them have had some really great things to share. And I remember the one author, Brenda Hardwick, if I remember right, who shared this horror story of what happened to her, of how she um, connected with an agency or some self-publishing company in which she ended up, by the time she got through it, she had spent about $20,000. And the only thing she got in return was one royalty check for $85. She came on our show because she wanted to warn others to be careful about these self-help publishers. So when you go to connect with one, do your research. Don't just settle for someone because they had a fancy um, advertisement that really drew you in. Do your research and find out exactly what they're all about because it shouldn't cost you an arm and a leg to get your book published. And there are some good people out there who can help you. I have a friend named Susie Puddin who is very good at that. Jill Lubin is another one who's good at helping people do that. Both the two of them can help you not only get published, but they can get you on some national networks and magazines. Of course, it's going to cost you a little bit. I'm not going to tell you, not going to mislead you. It will cost you a little bit, but they are legitimate and they can definitely help you. Then there's my friend Shea Shisinga, who is local and who is also very good at helping people to get published. In fact, the second time I had something published, it was because of her that I got it published. I, she did a book compilation and I wrote a story about my mom and it was published in there. So that's one person. And then our guest last week, Phyllis Clement, is another one who can help you get published. And she does quite a few things when it comes to books, getting books written and published. And she can help you in all those areas. And what she can't do, she has the connections to help you. And the people that I've mentioned, the great thing about them is that they are legitimate. You can trust them. So before you go out there and just connect with anyone, always find out who you should just got tongue tied there. Find out who is legit and that you can trust, and go to someone who you trust to give you good advice in that area. These are people that I know, but there are others out there, I'm sure, that can be uh, very helpful to you as well. Help you get that book out because I want you to get published. And you know what? You don't have to be perfect. Your book doesn't have to be perfect. You can just write some snippets about some things that you've gone through, have somebody proofread it, and another person format it, or maybe you'll find one person who can do all of that. Proofread it, format it, and show you how to get it published. You know, Amazon.com and even Barnes and Nobles are two places that you can go to. And if you're good at following directions, because they won't do it for you, they'll tell you what to read and whatnot. But if you're good at following direction, then you can go and publish the book yourself. What's another one? Smash Words, I believe. Smash Words, Smash Sword, something like that. And then there's Lulu. Those are also self-publishers and trustworthy, so you can go to them and get any help that you need in that area. So that's a little of what I can share with you this week. I hope that it benefits you. And more importantly, I hope that you'll take some action on it. Go ahead and do what you need to do and get your book out there, tell your story. If for no other reason than to write your story for your family. You know, one of the things I'm so sad about is that there are there's so much of my family history that I don't know. My mom, well, she just wasn't interested in talking about family, and neither was my dad. And I was, well, be perfectly truthful, I just didn't ask enough questions. Things that they pushed aside when I was a kid. Well, I can understand I was a kid. Maybe they didn't want to talk to me, but as an adult, I should have asked questions. And now both of them are gone. So there's part of my history that I'm not ever going to know unless I talk to some family member that's still around from that era who could share it with me. And there's not many of them left for me to turn to. And the few that are left, I don't really know. It's like they're like strangers to me. So don't let that happen to your family. I am going to write something my history so that it can be passed on and maybe others could add to it as they go along. But it's you have unanswered questions, things that pop up and you wonder why. And if you could go back and read about some member of the family, you might understand why some things, why you do some things that you do, and why you behave in certain ways. Anyway, I could go on all day talking, but I don't want to do that. Our time is just about up. I just want to remind you all that this is the BAG show, and we love to hear from you. You can email me anytime at lwrepark@gmail.com. That's lwrepark@gmail.com. And don't forget to put in the subject line BAG so you get priority reading, because I probably won't recognize your name. But if you got that in there, then I'll know that you are one of the people who watch the program and you have an important question you want to ask so I can respond to it. And as always, if I don't know the answer, I'll find someone who does. And if you don't know it, I am a blogger. Go over and read my blog. I post something every day, and you can find that at www.lawannasblog.com. That's www.lawannasblog.com. And in case you don't know how to spell my name, it's right there on the thing there. You can see it on the screen. LaWannasblog.com. All right. Go over and take a look at it. Read it. If you like what you read, please, please, please do share it. All right. I want to get as many people as possible connected because I try to provide something that's a benefit to all of us. Yes, even me. I'm still learning. I never get tired of learning. It's always something new. So I hope you feel the same. And listen, until next time, as always, please stay safe and keep the faith.